Leonidas, this character Leonidas, which
Yeah,
I thought was,
is that what he was called? I was like, wait, is that the 300 guy?
yeah, I don't have subtitles on my DVD copies, so
Let me look this up.
I can't actually see the name and how they spell it, but it sounded to me like they kept saying Leonidas.
Oh, you know what his name is? Leonalis.
Leonalis.
That is not at all.
So
I thought I heard Leonidas too. I was like,
you heard that too?
yeah.
So I was hearing Leonidas the whole time. I was like, is that the guy from 300? Are they about King Leonidas?
Yeah.
Which was like just going to be another thing that DS9 foreshadowed, right? But no, I guess it wasn't. It wasn't Leonidas. But what I do like about the character, and one thing that DS9 does a lot of, is tell these complicated stories where things are not so cut and dry, so black and white. There's always these layers of understanding that help alter the perception. And one of the things that I thought was interesting about the altered perception on this character was, you have a guy that's being touted as this hero, this rebellious leader, and then you find out that he's not what he appears to be, which is him telling this story about how he accidentally killed this Cardassian, right?
Yeah, which was a little strange because he said this Cardassian in his underwear falls on top of him, and that's where they find him. And I'm thinking, did they tell us that he was like so weak at the time, like famished from hunger or whatever, that he wasn't even able to just kind of like roll out from under a Cardassian? Or was he like a gigantic Cardassian, or why was he pinned down there?
He just liked to be underneath this underwear to Cardassian. I
That
think
had just gotten out of the water, that was just kind of like dripping.
Yeah, it was a comfortable place to be at that particular
Kept
moment.
him all warm and snuggly.
Nice and warm. Yeah, nothing like body heat when you're cold.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it told me the story of this, how we perceive things and perception, and
That's right.
I guess I thought of politics in a certain way, because I think of it, politics is so heavily in the news these days. But I think of people that we look up to in different ways, especially in the leadership position, and that's why politics is really a good example for that, where we see people and we put them on a pedestal of being these heroes or being something larger than life. And we sometimes, and we often overlook and don't take into consideration is like, sometimes these are just people like you and me, and they have their flaws, they have their fears, and they might have moments of courage, as we all do, and that's the human side of all of us. And I think what we tend to do is put people so high up on pedestals that we forget to see the human parts of them,
and that's right. And that theme's been used once or twice in Star Trek, and I can't remember when. And those of you listening or watching, you might remember an instance, but something where the people just needed a rallying point. They needed somebody to rally behind, and so the people around that person kind of, they kind of embellished to give the people something to believe in, because a lot of times we'll create these characters that are larger than life for the greater good, for to give people some hope, to give people something to believe in, something to fight for, something to really say, hey, yeah, that guy did it, so can we, do it for this guy or whatever, and he became like the spark that ignited their revolution or what they were fighting for. And I don't remember what other instances there were of that, but it reminded me of that. And so here we have this guy that's like, hey, I didn't really do much, but now all these people are chanting my name and, as their battle cry. And so who am I to take that away from them. He kind of feels like he's in the prison of his own expectations, like they expect him to be this super thing and he's not, or doesn't really feel like one.